Hey guys, welcome back to Filter Coffee Football. Yet another incredible result at home, this time picking apart Leicester City. But before we get to that, as always, like, share, subscribe. Hitting that like button really helps the channel out, so please go ahead and do that. And also, before we start discussing the men's game, Karthik is going to fill us in on the women's side of things. So please go ahead, Karthik.
We took apart Brighton 3-0, three goals in the first half. Miedema as stunning as usual. Uh, our new forward, Stina Blackstenius, January signing has made an instant impact, and I think it allows Miedema to play the number 10 role, which she is naturally. And this game was proof more than ever if you wanted to see that happen. The first half 3-0, second half we didn't do much, but comfortable victory. The title race is super exciting in the women's team, in the women's league. It's neck to neck. Arsenal and Chelsea are going neck to neck. With the assumption that both teams win their all of their remaining games, it's just going to be a 1 point difference. So, hoping for the best.
Yeah, thanks for that fabulous recap of the women's game. Please show them some support, show them some love as well. That is the Arsenal side of the club that is still winning silverware. But moving on
Yes.
to the men's game, that is obviously gets always gets more of the glam and glitter. Fabulous win 2-0. What a result. So calm, so composed, pretty much in control the entire game despite not having the lion's share of the possession. Uh, yeah, as always, let's start with the
Sorry.
opposition. Leicester City, another miserable result. This is their 19th goal conceded from a set piece. Five of them have been penalties. So this is like the 14th goal that they have conceded from either a free kick or a corner. Way more than they have ever. They are easily the highest, like the worst team in the Premier League on that stat. And their issues just keep getting worse. What
I
do you
mean,
say?
it's telling when a Thomas Partey scores a header when he's not scored probably a regular goal, or he hasn't. I don't know about it. I think they are out of sorts, out of shape since the rumors about Brendan Rodgers leaving and things like that that sparked up somewhere around late November or December. And them not having Jamie Vardy and Tielemans was a bigger impact for this game. I think they could have done a world of good. I mean, we know that Jamie Vardy loves scoring against the Arsenal, but not this time. You didn't make it to the pitch.
Yeah, and not to mention, of course, missing the likes of Wesley Fofana in defense and Johnny Evans in defense. The mix of a really young, dynamic player and a older, much more experienced head in that defense, Vestergaard, not getting a look in, even though they spent what 15, 16 odd million on him, bringing him in at the start of the season. Having to play central midfielders in the defense because Brendan Rodgers just has no faith in the centre back that they do have in the team, which doesn't bode well going forward. I mean, Soyuncu still, struggling in that defense as well. Uh, they had more of the ball, but they never really looked threatening across the game. Arsenal defense again doing a great job. Ramsdale only called up once for an incredible save. Outside of that, I think he had a pretty comfortable game throughout.
Ben White with that fabulous tackle.
Oh
Ben
yeah,
White.
that was crucial. That was crucial. And again, Thomas Partey a goal and some absolutely amazing work in the
Decent
middle of the
turns,
park. Decent
good
turns,
control.
good control, good interceptions, great in the tackle as well. He is really becoming the player that he was brought on to be for Arsenal, which is great to see. Because I mean, at this point, we're just going from strength to strength. Again, we're talking more about Arsenal. Let's come back and let's just end this section with talking about like how do you see Leicester's season panning out at this point? Like, any what's your
I think
take on that?
Leicester. I think Leicester are just glad that there are other teams that are sucky right now. So they don't really have to worry as much, but it's going to be a cause of concern because they are likely going to lose some of their best talent come the end of this season. Um, if is Brendan Rodgers going to stay will be another question for them to answer. Maybe just pull up the guys and have a pep talk or something and figure out what you really want to do for the season run in because Europe seems out of question right now. I would be surprised if they did make it to anywhere close to the European spots. So pick up the scraps and just look at each game as a final and see what gives.
Yeah, go through the Arsenal mentality because at this rate, Newcastle might just end up leapfrogging Leicester, and who would have seen that coming? But yeah, moving on to the red side of this fixture. Arsenal looked comfortable right from the get go. We always complain about having a lot of pressure but not making the most of it. Definitely did not falter this time around. Got their two goals. Looked in control when they were attacking. Had the lion's share when it comes to goal mouth action. I think it was like 21 shots that we ended up on, with at least I think we hit double digits in terms of shots on target in there as
Yep.
well, which is I mean, that's really what you want to see from an Arsenal attack. You know, Lacazette finally breaking that goal drought, 9 matches without a goal. It came from the spot, but it was a well taken penalty. It was a well earned penalty as well. Um, yeah, I mean,
It takes conviction. It takes
yeah,
conviction to score penalties like that. Banging it in the top corner, something that Aubameyang lacked doing earlier on because he's missed a couple of penalties, you know that.
yeah, and again, Emil Smith Rowe getting in some good positions, creating some great chances, but still seems a little off the pace. More so than him, I think. Sorry, I'm just talking about Martinelli. It seems a little bit off the pace, but more so than him, Emil Smith Rowe seems to be struggling a little bit more. Again, another substitute appearance wasn't that great. Not enough time on the pitch either to make such a huge impact. But you know, it's like we always have somebody clicking for us. And again, in this game, it was Lacazette, Odegaard, and Saka in that attack that were really making things work.
Odegaard was making life miserable for everyone at Leicester. I mean, you every single game he just ups his notch a little more, and you see a different version coming out. He's going strength to strength, and I think he's a great shout for the captain's armband.
Yeah, every match he plays, it just makes it more and more apparent how much he influences the game while he's on the pitch. I mean, he's essentially become indispensable right alongside Thomas Partey in that starting 11 for us. Who would you give? This was a tricky one today for me because we had a lot of good performance. Who was your man of the match?
Again, Martin Odegaard,
Uh,
hands down the best player on the pitch today.
yeah, I was kind of a little bit caught between, of course, Partey because he scored the goal, and Odegaard. Although even Lacazette had like a decentish shout, but I have to agree with you that like Odegaard, um, influential performance yet again, just
Pulls
being the
the
man
strings,
on the
man. He's
pitch.
just pulling the strings every single place. Although he might not have registered any assist or goal, but it's his movement that's causing problems.
Again, a good defensive performance. Finally, a clean sheet. I am
Right.
pretty sure Ramsdale is really delighted about that prospect. You know, still in the race for the Golden
12.
Glove.
He's got 12 now. I
Yeah,
think the goal, what, Allison has 14 now, I guess, because
yes, and I think
the
Mendy
last,
is also
yeah,
one clean sheet ahead of them. So it's still going to be really hard for him to get there. But just being in that race is absolutely incredible, uh,
so
which is great. And I hope they just keep building strength for strength. And speaking of building strength for strength, let's go to our next opponents because this is the tough one. This is where
the
most of us are
bigger.
going to have to suck it in. Facing Liverpool at home. Liverpool, I wouldn't say they're struggling for form, but they have been relatively more vulnerable. I mean, having had some close wins, that match against oh my god, I'm blanking. West Ham was so
Yeah.
close. I mean, for all intents and purposes, West Ham should have gotten something out of that match, but they didn't. losing again at home to Inter Milan in the Champions League as well. But when you have players like Van Dijk on the pitch, when you have players like Mohamed Salah and Luis Diaz, who seems to have just like seamlessly embedded himself into the team,
He's just
it's
scoring for fun.
exactly it's always going to be hard, right? So, how do you see us tackling this Liverpool side? Like, what are your hopes? What are your expectations? How do you see us managing this fixture?
I would really want to see if Tomiyasu plays. That would mean a whole lot of difference because Cedric is just going to be overrun by whoever is going to play their left flank. Is it going to be Mane? Is it going to be Jota? Is it going to be Salah? Is it going to be Diaz? You never know who they're going to throw in. And it's going to be a job and a half for Cedric to do. So that's one issue I'm really worried about. The other aspect being, does Emil Smith Rowe start? I know he's just recovering from COVID, so is he going to be fit enough or to be explosive, or do we go with Martinelli and then get him on? I am conflicted at this point, and otherwise the defense seems sorted. You don't really want to change most of the lineup. It's just these two positions that I'm really worried about what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, there is honestly, for a change, we are in a position where Arsenal don't really change their system based on the opposition. Like, we are pretty much happy. We are married to the team that we have, the system that we are playing right now. As to the Tomiyasu point, I would probably still pick Cedric over Tomiyasu just because Cedric has had such an extended run. Throwing Tomiyasu in back into playing form against an opposition like Liverpool might just be throwing him into the deep end. If he played against Leicester today, even if he had like a substitute appearance today, that would have made me a lot more confident about getting him the start. But since he's missed yet another match, I'd feel that he might just find himself a fish out of water if he's thrown right into the action against this Liverpool attack. But yeah, as for midfield, we're gonna have to rely on Partey again. We're gonna have to make sure ensure that Xhaka stays on the pitch. Essentially, he's been fabulous, but that's always the danger, especially against the big teams. As long as he stays on the pitch, he has been a really good partner to Thomas Partey
You've
over the
got to
last
realize that
matches.
he's higher up the pitch right now. So
Yeah,
the lesser his number of tackles are flying in. Even that stat changed. His expected tackles per game have also reduced. Like the pointer has reduced drastically. So I am assuming that is the case in the next game.
yeah. Finally, utilizing him the right way, I guess, is one way to look at it. Again, Liverpool paying that high line, they definitely you can get at them if you run in behind. And we have been more clinical because Liverpool will give, if the last few games are anything to go by, they will give you two or three absolutely incredible chances. Our job is to make the most of them, and then outside of that, just keep defending the way we have been, be compact, be organized more than anything else, and rely on the likes of Ramsdale to pull out an absolute screamer, because we know, like, for a fact that Salah is going to get one absolutely incredible shot. You never know, especially with that midfield as well. Every now and again, you might have one of those midfielders throw in an incredible performance. Uh, I'm hoping for something. This, if this Leicester match has given me anything, it's a confidence that we can actually go toe to toe with Liverpool. And initially, where I was like, yeah, I guess I would take that L. I'm a lot more on board with, like, yeah, we need to go for a win on this one.
I'd love for us to do a job over them. It's very simple. I'm looking at each game as a final, including this one, including the one after, including the one after that. I'm not looking at any game as a throwaway, although technically sides may have different qualities of players, different style to play, different form ratio. But still looking at every game as a final, and if it's Liverpool, it's Liverpool. That's what you've got to deal with. Deal with
Yeah,
it.
currently, right after Liverpool, Arsenal and Newcastle are the teams in the best form in the Premier League right now. So, really, two teams in good form on paper going head to head. And Newcastle, again, that's that's a whole different conversation. But after Liverpool, the only real tough fixture that Arsenal have is that Manchester United game. From here on to the end of the season, which of course the North London derby is in there as well because we need to play catch up on that. But that looks more and more winnable as the matches are going on, just because Spurs are so inconsistent with their form. But
They're
yeah,
being
let's.
Spursy. They're being Spursy.
But yeah, both of us hoping for a win for against Liverpool, preparing for a loss or a draw. Even that wouldn't be the worst result given our position right now. Firmly in that top four, despite United doing us a favor by defeating Tottenham over the weekend as well. But yeah, that was us talking about Arsenal versus Leicester. Incredible result, incredible 3 points, growing from strength to strength. And please help us go from strength to strength. Like, share, subscribe.
Easy, easy, Tiger.
Sorry about that. Got too enthusiastic in there. Yeah, and we will see you guys next time. See ya.
Ready.